have been doing this professionally since 1995. So, I mean, I'm probably one of the first less than dozen South Asian actors in the US. I've had this very consistent career, and I never was going to let motherhood, it was not either or for me. I knew that I was meant to do both. I also knew that I'd become a better artist when I was a mom.
When you know who you are and you feel complete peace with everything around you that you're doing, I think that's when you're more, your subconscious and everything is more open and in tune and focused when you're on doing your craft.
Nepotism, obviously that's a big focus in Bollywood and even here a little bit, but those actors don't have a lot to tap into because everything's just been handed to them. Yeah. They don't appreciate, that their little check has now taken them from a shared studio, and that's for models and stuff here too, who are living 5 to a room. Now you really appreciate the value of your work because it's earning you something and stability versus just having everything handed to you.
It just feels like the idea of struggle, why is that the conversation?
And nothing to talk about in this podcast.
No.
That's why.
Why was that the question?
No, I don't mean that's not what I meant.
What's going on, guys? My name's Tarun Shetty. Welcome to the Convo Sutra. I am so happy for this episode and so excited for our guest. But before we start, let's do a quick intro for our audio listeners.
What's up, guys? It's Jazz, host of the Hot Chai Pod, a Bollywood film and gossip show.
Hi, guys. My name is Nihan Gur. I am an actress, producer, and your Caviar podcast is also a thing.
Hi, I'm Kavi Ramachandran. I am an actor, writer, director, and producer.
Yay.
Welcome, Kavi.
Welcome
you
to
for
the
having
show.
me.
Nihan, welcome back.
Thank you.
Jazz, welcome back.
I don't get a welcome.
Doing your podcast stuff last night. First of all, huge fan of your stuff.
Thank you.
I've met you years ago, and I've been tracking you for years, and you've done so much. I can't even talk about all the stuff you've done. Your IMDb list is insane.
Oh, thanks. I mean, I have been doing this professionally since 1995. So, I mean, I'm probably one of the first less than dozen South Asian actors in the US.
Yeah, theater, film, TV, everything. We went to the same school, by the way.
Oh, we went to NYU?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
In Tisch. And you actually were on the Cosby Show, not the original Bill Cosby Show, but Cosby, in school, right?
No. So, I did Yale Rep in school.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I booked my first equity show at the beginning of my senior year, and because I'm, South Asian, so even though I didn't think I was smart, I had enough brains in there. I actually got an entire semester of credits in high school, so I was going to graduate early, and ended up booking that at the beginning of my senior year, and then just took the semester off and came back and graduated with my class.
And Nihan's a huge actress out here in LA as well. So I felt you guys could relate to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Your just alignment with happiness and navigating the industry is stuff that I need to work on. And I was like, I need her here so I can learn stuff.
Aww,
because
thanks.
you seem to have mastered how to just have a career but also be happy at the same time. Unless it's all fake.
No, it's not fake, but it's... No, it's not fake. but it's not about the acting. It's about the living. It's about choosing how to live. It's all, I'm a mother. I've been divorced. I've lived life, but it's ever since I was very, very young, this kind of thread line of wanting to know who I really am has always existed. And it was I never separated myself into actor, wife, writer, human, it's just and so, and now that I'm much older, it's just, there's an ease to, I want to be happy more than anything else. And I want to feel good more than anything else. So that doesn't mean you're always happy because we're human and life is life and, it happens. But I am not in control of what happens around me. I am in control of myself and how I react or how I feel. And that is a moment-to-moment choice. And it's at work at first because that's just not how we live. We live in react mode. We take in the world and we think our circumstances are what create how we feel. But once I started to, and I won't say master, but once I started to really get the hang of that, now I will not let myself live any other way. And it doesn't mean that I don't get pissed or have, get depressed or any of that stuff. It just means that I never stay there. But I always acknowledge when I'm there, because you can't lie your way to a state of like really good feeling. You can't. You won't. It can't. That's fake.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's not amazing about me, but it is. It's incredible. I've been doing in this business as well, like since like '97, and it's never enough for me, and I can never like figure out that through line of how to like balance everything. But what I like about what you've done is also you've built a life outside of acting as well. And I know your daughter's famous. She was the lead voice in
Mira Royal Detective.
Huge show. So the fact that she has you as a mom to help guide her, it's not like you've not done stuff. You were recurring on shows. NCIS, you were on for like 10 episodes. I mean, you've done huge stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've wanted to be a mom since I was 4, and I wanted to be an actor since I was 5. So when you look at it that way, then I've done what I've said I wanted to do. And so I'm doing what I want to do. And in a way, I've had this very consistent career, and I never was going to let motherhood, it was not either or for me. I knew that I was meant to do both. I also knew that I'd become a better artist when I was a mom, which has been completely true, because you have access.
Intuition.
Yeah, and you have access to more of yourself. I mean, that's the thing about aging and all that other stuff.
I need to become a mom.
It's
I need to become a mom.
At least start with dog mom.
there you go. I mean, and it's like for me, it was that.
I need to get a plant at least.
You know what? I am horrible with plants. I will say I raised a daughter and she is amazing, and I'm so proud of her and of myself, but I am not good with plants. I will say that. No, I just think that I don't know. I mean, I'm extremely grateful that I didn't ever give up on myself. And there were really hard times, especially going through a divorce, being a single mom, things like that. But being an actor, being a performer, it was just part of my soul. And if I gave that up, then I would be a really not a great mom either, And so she saw me through all of it. And I didn't actually think she'd be an actor. She's a singer-songwriter. Her album's going to come out this year. Oh. She's phenomenal.
How old is she?
She's 22.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she was Mira, but her becoming an actor was a surprise to me. When she started musical theater, though, the bug hit, and when she was like 11.
She caught the bug.
Yeah, but she's extremely talented, and the one thing is I never dissuaded her from doing it, because who am I to do that, It's like, and I'll give props to my parents. I mean, I didn't actually think about this too much until much later, but I couldn't have done this if it hadn't been for my parents. Now they didn't. My mom obviously wanted me to do journalism or something more.
You're
grounded.
Malayalam.
I'm Malayali, yeah,
Okay.
from Kerala, and I was born there and came here when I was a baby. But my dad, had not seen me perform since I was like in elementary school, and then he saw me in my senior play, my musical, and he came up afterwards and he was just like sobbing. And the next day we went to go play tennis, and he literally just said, "Where's the best place to go to school for this?" And when I got into NYU, they both took me in their room and they said, "By God's grace, you got in, so it's our job to get you there." And I took it for granted then, and, don't get me wrong, like I still get the, are you making money? Are you doing this? Are you doing, and I just don't talk about those things. But like, my dad passed away 26 years ago. I couldn't have done this without that support. So, my ex-husband's also a performer, he's a musician, and we support her because she's talented and she's smart, and I trust her as a human being, and I trust who I raised, and it's great, and it's great that we can share it too,
But could you tell the story of like how you just synopsize this, how you almost put the NCIS audition on the back burner?
Yeah, I was in post for a short film that I made. I acted and produced, and how that goes. It's like, trying to figure out the money and all that other stuff. And so I called my manager and I was like, please, just 3 days, no auditions, no scripts, no nothing. I just need to focus. And of course, like half an hour later, she sent me something, and
She's like, actually.
I know.
She's like, are you sure?
I know, but it was for Jason Kennedy, who does the NCIS franchise, and I've been auditioning for him for at that point, it had been like 15 years of auditioning for this guy, and he's amazing. And I know he's not going to bring me in for something I might not be right for. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll do
Let's
it.
highlight that. 15 years of auditioning for one show. That's great.
Well, not just one show, all the NCISs, right?
Yeah.
And I had done the CSIs and all these other things. I booked NCIS, and I booked a couple different things, but never this particular, this was NCIS Los Angeles. And I was like, I put it off for a couple of hours. I was kind of bummed. I was like, I really need to focus on my work here. But then it was him, so I decided to do it. And normally I would be off book, but I was just like, this is 6-7 pages. I don't have time for this. I'm gonna just do my best. But I ended up learning it that night, like really quickly. I said in this other interview that I feel like I channeled my dad because like he was a scientist. And anyway, long story short, I end up submitting it, and then a couple of days later, I didn't think about it again because I was busy doing what I was doing. And I got a call saying they didn't want me. This was a 1-day guest star. They didn't want me for this one. They wanted me for a 2-day guest star on the next episode. But I had just booked tickets, and this was right after COVID, or during COVID, but like after 2 years of really not seeing my family. And I had just booked my ticket to go visit. So I said no. And I wasn't in a place where I could have used the money. So it wasn't like, but my manager is super supportive, and she's like, great, I'll tell them. And she went back to them, and she's like, we'll wait for a top of show or something like that, but thanks so much. And then they kept coming back. And they're like, well, we really want her for this. And
Hollywood hates it when you tell no to
yeah,
them.
well, no, and she always jokes with me. She's like, no is the sexiest word in Hollywood. But it was a very authentic no. I wasn't doing it to play anything. I wasn't playing games. And I said no, but they kept coming back, and they sent me, and they sent me the breakdown. So this character had not had a breakdown. Like, I got offered this role based on the other audition.
Oh, amazing.
And finally they came back again, and they were like, we'll figure out how to make this work. We really want her for this. And I was going to go for 3 weeks. I ended up going for 19 days. They ended up fixing it so I could do my first COVID test there. And then I flew back. It was the last 2 days of the shoot, or when I shot my episode. And actually, when I was there, I'm also on the Sex Lives of College Girls, and that show premiered while I was away. And the day that show premiered, I got the call saying that this role on NCIS LA was officially recurring. And I had like my next 3 episodes or something. And
you crushed it, by the way. I watched all the scenes. You crushed that.
Thank you. Yeah. It was so much fun. And I was basically Gerald McCraney, who is a legend. I was his right hand. And working with him for 2 years was like one of the joys of my career. He's amazing. And and so, it's about being true to who you are, and not letting anything, I was having this conversation the other day with someone about staying with their team. They don't have access to who they know they want to be with yet, but they know they're not happy where they are. And I'm like, it's kind of like dating, right? Yeah. It's like, don't just be with someone just to be not alone,
Thank you.
And I think that's true though, because you won't allow in what you're meant to have if you're settling.
Do you want to unpack something?
No, I speak for all of us.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's anyway, so it's the same thing. It's like, don't be afraid to say no because you're afraid you won't get another opportunity, because nothing that's meant for you is going to miss you. 100%.
Was there ever like a really intense or difficult audition that you remember that you just had to like it was a long process, or?
Not that I can think of in terms of,
because I feel like
process, but I do think that, and I had mentioned this before as well, and maybe it was lifing, the 20 teens, were not exactly the easiest in my life. And I was already noticing that I was having a harder time just like retaining dialogue.
Yeah.
And that was another gift that NCIS LA gave, because the role I play, she's in ops, and there's just all this exposition. It's like everything you need to know about the episode comes from my character. And it was just lines and lines of really intense dialogue. And that really helped my
train you well.
And now it's like I'd never had it, But I think it's easy to say it's just about memory, but that's about stress and how you handle it and everything. And I handle all those things much better.
Sure. Well, let's open up for the panel. Are there situations where like you've said no to stuff?
Actually, this week.
Really?
To everything.
Elucidate.
No, it was a commercial that paid really well, but it was just not aligned with the type of commercial that I wanted to do. And I emailed my team back and I was like, and they're very cool. They're just like, hey, take a look at this. They want you to put something on tape, but if you don't want it, let us know. And I was like, you guys, the money's so good. I really appreciate it. But I'm like, the goal is bigger.
I think you always feel better saying no to things, but I always take money.
That's fair.
It's a tough one.
But yeah, have you ever heard that saying that like there's three things, like every project should have two of three things. It's good money, the people, or the project. You can't imagine someone else doing it. You got to do it, even if there's no money.
I always think it's going to lead to something else. Like I always think I'm going to meet somebody, or somebody's going to see something. That's acting. Any situation. Like if there's a party, and I don't like socializing too much, but sometimes if it's a good party, I'll be like, I should go just because you never know who you're going to meet, whatever. Right? Like we might go to that IFLA thing, and I was like, I don't want to go to IFLA. I should go because I live in LA, and every like LA filmmaker will be there.
Right.
Right. So I should probably check it out.
I wonder if it's a little tougher for women though, because like I refuse to do certain roles because I don't want to do the very sexy, like the girl that's like getting cheated on or cheating, whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the very sexualized like characters or something that's I want to go like the Penelope Cruz way. Like I'm not trying. Yeah. So I say no to a lot of things actually.
But you, Jess?
Funny, I said no to something this week too. I
The same commercial audition that you went up for.
Cheers.
actually I said yes to that one.
Good on you.
I wanted to do some smutty scenes. No.
No, it was for like a razor, like some sort of like a
like a
a wax
shaving.
or shaving thing, and but it's like not like a big brand, and they have to do like close-ups and stuff, which is fine. I feel like they'll find like a beautiful model for that, but it's just like not in my comfort zone.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I have a tech startup in addition to my podcast, and it's early days, and it's like it's stressful, obviously, because it's always like something's coming up. And I got approached by this venture studio, and they like tapped me to be a co-founder of a new startup, and they're like, "Oh, think your career is so cool. We found you, whatever." And I was like, it was like a part of me that's like, "Oh, should I do two things plus my podcast plus try to have a life?" And then I was like, "No, I'm focused on my startup."
Good for you.
And they're like, "Oh, well, what's your startup?" And I was like, "It's too good for you. You couldn't build something like that."
If you want to give me money, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and I actually said, hope maybe let's meet. Let's talk about like who you guys know.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. If you like this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.
But never feel bad about the things you say no to that aren't right for you. It's when you say no to something because you're just
Scared
or, and I don't know. I don't do things when I start to ask myself, should I do this? Then I've already decided. Like that, there's a whole thing of what, if it's not a hell yes, it's a no.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, at this point, I don't push anything.
But you have to know yourself well. Because
you have to
a
know
lot of
yourself,
people will just say no. Like even in dating, like I say that to my friends a lot. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. But then I was just talking to my close guy friend, and he's dating someone new. So you don't know who you are. And he's like, "Oh, I'm unsure. And I usually be like, "Oh, if it's not," and then I was like, "But you're just very indecisive as a person, and you have a lot of commitment issues, and you haven't been in a relationship in so long, and I don't know."
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's hard to say either way, especially from the outside.
Yeah.
And now we all turn.
I'm trying to process. There's a show I do stand up, and I'm playing to this career, and I perform at this bar show every week because I can get up there. And I always go up last. It's always like a knife fight. And I was there like 3 weeks ago, and I know like a lot of like famous comedians, and I'm like, would they do what I'm doing right now? Like, no, they'd be like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like they wouldn't even show their face there. So I just stopped. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And I stopped going. And I haven't performed in like 3 weeks, which is a lot for me. Because I normally have like these corporate shows, and it's good practice. And I was like, I just don't want to do it. But sometimes I'm so good at just suffering and pushing myself through stuff that I don't want to do. And I was like, no, I'm going to change this. I'm not doing it. I'm just going to sit home and edit. Done. So,
Yeah.
and then I booked NCIS. So it was,
Hey, soon enough.
You did a movie with Constance Wu.
Yeah, that's a funny story, actually. That we made that movie so long ago. And, you know, the whole Black Don't Crack, Brown Don't Frown, Asian Don't Raisin really helped us
wow.
with that one because we shot that film back in
what was the movie called?
East Bay.
Yes,
And it's on
okay.
demand. It's really good.
You produced that too, right?
I did. I
amazing.
I helped produce it. And it is really a good movie. And it won a bunch of awards. It's on demand now. We had an entire month nationwide theatrical run back in
Congrats.
May of 24, which was phenomenal, especially but everything happens for a reason. Because we made that film in 2010.
Oh, wow.
I know. And then the writer, director, producer, star, Daniel Yoon, life just like he was trying to raise money for Post and everything like that. And then one after that, he had health issues and his parents, and then like one after he was taking care of them. And then by the time he, was ready to get going again, COVID happened. So then by the time he was finished, it was 2022. But in 2020, no one wanted to see our films.
Yeah.
I did films in the 20s, like 2000s, is that what you call them? The 2000s. And, I did a film called Karma Calling, which we used to joke and say it came out the same year as Slumdog did. So I used to say that we got some Slumdog residue. But other than, there were some films that came out, like, American Desi came out 25 years ago. They're just celebrating their anniversary. But in general, it was a very niche thing. South Asian films for South Asian audiences kind of thing. And so this film, which it's not exactly like it, but to me, because I love that film so much, it reminds me of Past Lives, that film that came out a couple of years ago. It was just good storytelling, And when it came out, there was an audience for it. Now, it was Constance Wu's first film.
Wow.
So this was before
Crazy
anything.
Rich Asians
And she's
stuff.
lovely in it. We don't act together, but we both star in it. And it's wild,
That's amazing.
I really love the transition to producing, that you're creating your own stuff past few years.
I started 10 years ago. I was just tired of not having a say. I always have a say. I have ideas and things like that. And I started with a film called Boris and the Bomb, which is a feature. It's on Tubi and a bunch of other stuff. And but in 2021, I started my production company, Art Heart Love Productions, in order to make this short film called Now and Never, which was a one-act play that I read during COVID and knew that I had to make into a film. And there are 5 characters. When I read the play, I was one of the characters and realized that this essentially became a one-woman film. I play all 5 of the characters.
Oh, amazing.
And I executive produced it with Anu Hodges.
Like the Eddie Murphy of South Asian women.
Oh my God, I love that.
I will say this, that the reason I made it is because one of the things I'm really good at is multiple characters. And this sounds so lame to say this like this, but I've really had people say, oh, you're too pretty to be funny. I have had people say things like that, and it's kind of ridiculous because I'm an actor and I love to just show my range and entertain and things like that. So there's 5 very different characters in this film, and I was tired of waiting for someone else to give me permission to do these kind of things.
Yeah.
Because everyone has their idea of what, you're capable of or whatever it is. And so that's why I love producing, because, I want to tell the stories that I want to tell on my timeline. And the good thing is because where I'm in my life right now, I'm not pushing anything. So I have projects on my slate that I cannot wait to make, but I'm only going to age into.
Sure.
That's amazing.
The mom roles and stuff like that, which I've started playing, but I can still play roles that are younger than those as well. And I'm only going to age into those mom things. So it's I don't know. I actually am really in a very good place, I think, in my life and my career.
Same.
For someone who is also getting into producing, how does one find money?
I had no money whatsoever when I knew I wanted to make this.
Yeah.
I found the director by doing a reading. This was all over Zoom. This was in end of 2020. And then I decided to start my production company, which I, just made an LLC.
Yeah.
And I did a, what do you call it? The,
Grants?
Festivals?
You got a grant?
Grants?
no, it's not a grant. It's not in my memory. What's it called? Anyway, you get to basically use, it takes like a month process of putting in like all the details of what your project is, how you're trying to, where you want to show it, what you want to create, and fiscal sponsorship.
Oh,
okay.
Physical
Yeah.
sponsorship.
Fiscal sponsorship, and I highly recommend it. And I have a friend who's done it since, and
That's
I think
how I
that-
asked my dad for money back in the day.
That's how I asked my
Can
friends
you
money. I
fiscally
need a fiscal sponsor.
Fiscal sponsor.
I mean, I will take a fiscal sponsorship from anyone. I have several projects on my slate. I am super open for a personal fiscal sponsorship. But this was through Film Independent.
Okay.
And they take a small percentage. And people who are giving maybe even bigger amounts of money will get tax deduction and things like that. So,
Amazing.
And I ended up raising almost $50,000.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
okay, good to know.
it was interesting because during COVID and things like that, like it was hard to ask for money.
Yeah.
And then I just had to, it was a big shift for me because that's when it really started to, this idea of my own service is always so important to me. And as a mother and as a woman, we sometimes can lose ourselves in doing for others and stuff.
Yeah.
But I can't get sick enough, poor enough, sad enough to help anyone else.
Sure.
Yes.
And so I had to tap into that part of me to go, you know what, this will bring me joy and I really want to do this. Yeah. And I'm so proud of this film. And even though it came out and we had its festival run in 22, 23, I rewatched it at a festival last year and I was like, I made that film for me, but that film needs to get seen now. It's a mental health fantasy. It's time.
That's a great transition to our show question for the panel. Do you think struggle actually makes artist or tech professional? Or is that something we just tell ourselves? Do we have to struggle? Has it made you a better artist? Maybe Nihan, what do you think?
I mean, I don't think you should seek it. I think that's kind of like you're self-inflicting. I think life is already a struggle enough. And like you said, it's like you have this passion and this craft, but you also have to live. And I think within those experiences, you're gonna face so many struggles. I don't know if that answers it, but I don't think it's necessary. I think it's the actually complete opposite when you know who you are and you feel complete peace with everything around you that you're doing. I think that's when you're more like your subconscious and everything is like more open and in tune and focused when you're on like doing your craft.
Sure. Sweet Jazz?
I see where you're coming from because you don't want to be like in struggle mode because then you can be like scarcity minded or like fear minded. But I do think that struggling, I had a low point in my career with my other startup crashing, and that has made me a much more shrewd, businesswoman. It's made me look at things differently. It's made me develop product differently. Like, okay, let's do it quick. Let's do it this. Let's, really focus on contracts and stuff. And, it also gave me some perspective on grit and doing things that are scary because you're like, okay, if I can fail and be okay, then I can, I don't know. I wouldn't have started my podcast had that not happened. And up until then, it's not like my life was struggle free, but it was pretty struggle free, minus the struggles I created for myself, like climbing a ladder and, achieving new things. But I don't really consider those struggles so much as just like achievements. And like, I used to find it very exciting, but I think for people who have not, especially for artists, sometimes I see artists like, especially, who are the products of like nepotism. Obviously that's a big focus in Bollywood and even here a little bit, but those actors don't have a lot to tap into because everything's just been handed to them. Yeah. They don't appreciate, that their little check has now taken them from a shared studio. And that's for like models and stuff here too, who are living like 5 to a room. Now you really like appreciate the value of your work because it's earning you something and stability versus just having everything handed to you.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think everyone has like a different upbringing But I definitely struggled a lot, and like as an immigrant, and like had to put myself through school and figure it out in New York when I was like 17 by myself, and all those lessons for sure have brought me to who I am, and I'm grateful for those struggles, and like I'm more brave for it. So I guess
I can see both sides, because I see what you're saying. Like I like struggle like a rock, like I live like a rocket fuel. It really propels me. Sometimes I create struggle just so I can motivate myself to work
And that's
hard.
what she's saying don't do.
Yeah, no, I use it almost as like as something
Motivator.
to propel me
motivator.
forward.
Well, you can't know what you want unless you don't know what you don't want. Sometimes that like
true.
I think it's like the reframe of struggle. Like life is not easy. Life is lots of ups and downs. There's contrast every single day, everywhere we look. We can find something we like or something we don't like. We can find something that makes us feel good or not. It's about choosing where you're going to look, where's your direction. The things that I've gone through in my life have definitely made me the woman I am today, but I didn't seek those out. I also didn't let them pull me down, and so life is happening. It's like, and even those people that we say don't have struggles, they do. I think we just need to mind our own business and like keep focused on like what makes us feel good. And you just don't even realize like how you're tapping into, like, you'll attract the right people, you'll attract the right circumstances and all that stuff. And sometimes, we find ourselves like really down, and instead of like, that's why for me, like the most important thing is wanting to feel good, wanting to feel better. And, I can't, if I'm here and I feel really, really bad, I'm not going to feel like this immediately. But I can maybe find one little thing to make myself feel better. And I think it's about where we put our focus. Are we putting it on the struggle?
Yeah.
Or are we putting it on the direction we want to go in?
But Kavi, I feel like all the stuff that I struggle with, like there's joy in that. Like,
Yes.
I struggle working out at the gym, but like, look, I'm going to become in better shape. I struggle making this podcast every week, but it's brought me.
struggle?
It takes arduous work, but the things that like have rapture, like, say I go out drinking, I'm hungover the next day, I'm in a relationship, then she dumps me, I'm in a puddle of my own tears. Like it has this inverse effect, like this stuff that makes you happy. So like almost like the struggle thing, I think I'm drawn to because I know there's more long-term value versus this short-term happiness stuff that we're chasing out here in LA. So I try to be very conscious about chasing these short-term ecstasy boosts, these dopamine.
Well, it just feels like the idea of struggle, like, why is that the conversation, right? The conversation being about...
Because I have nothing to talk about in this podcast.
No.
That's why.
Why was that the question?
No, I don't mean that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I just mean that, like, when I think of, for example, you want to make a podcast, and so all the effort that you're putting into it brings you some relief, brings you joy, brings you happiness or whatever. If I don't want to make a podcast and I say, well, I have to do this and I'm making myself do it, I'm forcing myself to do something that doesn't bring me joy. If I go out because I think I should go out versus wanting to go out, it's a big difference. Like I really, I can be very social, but I love being by myself. But when I'm out, I enjoy it. So when I make the effort to actually go out, then I'm really present and I'm really there.
Sure.
And if I don't, then I don't force myself to do it. And so the hard things in life, the personal things, the loss, the all of that, like, sure, it makes us, I just think that for me at this stage in my life, calling it struggle versus it just accepting that life is the way life is, and sometimes it's this and sometimes it's this, and I'm navigating myself, because where you put your attention is where your focus ends up going. And if my focus is on a conversation about struggle, then I start to think about that versus my focus being on a little bit more ease or whatever. It doesn't mean I'm ignoring the struggle. It's happening, it's lifing, it's like, it's there. It's just, where am I turning my focus to?
Well, speaking of joy, how about we do a quick dialogue plug?
Yeah.
Brought us amazing. Hey guys, I want to make a quick shout. Hey guys, I want to make a quick shout out to Dialogue Cafe for bringing us these amazing drinks this fine Saturday morning. I am drinking the Dating Dialogue. It is my favorite drink there. If you're at Dialogue, check that drink out. Jazz, what are you drinking?
Dirty chai. Keep it on brand.
I've actually never, what was this? It was the cheese.
The cinnamon latte, triple cinnamon.
Yeah. Triple sin. Or
It's
whatever.
really good. I'm obsessed.
Yeah, it's good.
And this, I think, is the strawberry oat milk matcha latte. Wow, it's so good.
So good. I love
Yeah,
that one.
all of it's fantastic. They have multiple locations throughout Los Angeles. Check them out. Thank you, everybody at Dialogue. We appreciate you. Have a good day.
Cheers.
Great. I think we're shifting gears and then what brings us happy. Yeah, go ahead, Jazz.
I guess I totally get your point about where attention goes, energy flows, and like looking at the bright side. But then I also get your point too of like sometimes you do have to just having a goal, you know, whether that even for me, even it is my podcast, it's like, yeah, I want to put out my episode. I'm excited to talk about what I'm going to talk about, but there's so many like hard things that go into it. And it's often so unrewarding. Like, oh, the numbers weren't where I wanted it this week, or, you know, it's like I put in all this effort and like you just don't see it until you start to see it. And then same with the startup. It's like I have this mission, I want to deliver this. Now there's all this unsexy stuff we have to do, fundraising and that like stuff I just absolutely despise. And it is a struggle. But I think if you don't appreciate your struggle, you don't appreciate your success. For me personally.
Yeah, and I'm not just missing
it's a marathon.
I think it's the word struggle for me. It's like it's
Challenges?
yeah, maybe, because the fact is like you're still choosing to do that. Like, you know, it's like it's a
What monastery did you study at? To
I
give
didn't
this
know
monk
life. It's just life. It's just a choice of, you know, wanting to because it's not because hard things haven't happened. It's not because,
Right.
you know, it's not because, you know, even in this moment that there aren't difficult things. But like words don't teach, you know, it's like, that's the thing. It's like, I've taught myself through my experience how to live where I'm living now.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't change any of the struggle or the challenges or the loss or the gain, and it wouldn't change any of it because I know the trajectory of how I brought me here. And I also know that for the rest of my life, I'd like to use this moment as the template because I only live here. You know, I'm not living too far in the future.
Sure. Nihan, can you celebrate your wins and be present?
I mean, I reward myself all the time.
Oh yeah, how do you reward yourself?
No, I mean, yes, I think it's sometimes hard to talk more of your wins than the struggle, especially with like certain people, because I don't know, but I'm really grateful that I have a really close, like, genuine friends who literally just are the happiest for me if I book like something, and because we all know how hard it is and how hard we all individually work, and they kind of make me more proud of a booking more than myself, if that makes sense, because they're like, oh, you did all of this and like you just, you know, I don't know, it's like 99 auditions and then you book one and it's like, yeah, you should go freaking celebrate, like you deserve it. I think you have to have a good balance.
Oh yeah. I'm mostly an optimist. My mood's mostly up here. You know, it takes a lot to like really bring me down, and I celebrate constantly. Treat myself.
You only live once.
Maybe a little too much.
You're so
Yeah.
perfect.
I am so perfect. That's what my mom would say.
Yeah, I just buy a bunch of random stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, I deserve this, even though I didn't book anything. It's like, I'm just going to buy some random stuff.
Yeah, you have to live. We have one life. And I keep reminding myself that.
And one credit card.
And
One face.
I think my favorite thing lately has been like, and we do this in our work, but I'm trying to implement it more in my day to day. It's like, what else can I discover about myself today? And like, as you get older, yeah, it's like, I mean, it's like the most random stuff. Like I ordered a harmonica kit from Amazon because I was like, maybe I could
Love
try
that.
it. Yeah.
And it's not a
like-
crisis.
No, but I'm like, what else can I? Yeah, I don't.
Who else am I?
Yeah, like what else can I do for myself? And also important to, I want to do something that's outside of the business that gives me joy. And I mean, I found producing really satisfying, and I was like, oh, I actually also love this equally as acting. But lately, I'm like, what can I do outside of the business that also, I mean, financially as well, like what I can do, but it gives me some sort of satisfaction. I think acting is always
Sure.
the forefront, obviously, for me, but
That's a great question to end on. Like, what have you discovered about yourself? Like, you discovered you like want to play harmonica. Like, is there anything that you guys discovered? I mean, outside of acting,
So
the
random.
last few years that
I
brought you
mean,
happiness?
I will say I'm on the downswing right now, but during COVID, I became obsessed with Turkish television shows.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, you're in Turkey.
I'm Turkish, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi.
We have this Turkish celebrity in our
It's like she's
midst.
watching an alien land on this planet.
Yes, I'm Turkish. I was born in Turkey.
All of my Turkish that I've learned has gone out.
It's okay. Yeah, there's this Can Yaman. He's like all over.
You blew her mind.
Okay, it was the second. 𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐿 𝐿 was the second one I saw.
𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐿 𝐿,
yeah,
yes.
and then,
That's a good one.
Oh my God,
I started watching it.
We brought
a
you
while
more
ago,
joy
but
today.
Yes, perfect.
Right now I'm watching Eşref Rüya with Çağatay
Çağatay Ulusoy. He's a good actor.
and
I like
Demet
him.
He's
Özdemir.
great.
It is
Yeah.
phenomenal. Okay,
Okay.
we will talk.
Okay, we'll talk.
But that has brought me incredible joy. And a friend of mine is a DP and is moving back to Istanbul.
Oh,
and so
amazing.
we are going to make something in Turkey.
Wait,
Wow.
I'm in.
No, I know. No, you're
was like,
in.
wait.
I
Yeah.
want to get
Put
there's
Nihan in it.
Yeah.
Burak Deniz, like there are people
Oh,
that I
yeah.
want to work with. that
Yeah.
are so good.
I did a show in 2019 in Turkey. Just wanted to compare because I moved to the
production
States
value
when I
there
was
is
8.
incredible.
So Netflix and anything digital is different. Sorry, I don't know if we have time, but just quickly, like their primetime shows where it's like 2 hours an episode, the way they film it is insane. There's like 2 different teams that go out to
Each
film.
show is like a movie. Each episode
Yeah.
is like a 2-hour movie.
And what they pump out is like a blockbuster episode, basically. And it's so great.
It's so good.
So it's a lot. We can talk. I'll
We'll
talk.
talk more outside this. Jazz, real quick, what have you discovered about yourself?
I can do anything I want. There's no limits. I'm launching a like matchmaking singles service with
Ooh.
Oh,
Cheyenne
okay.
Krishna, Blonde Desi.
Yeah.
So that's our first event is in June. So I'm like, yeah, I don't have to limit myself. I'm not just a
Invite me.
podcaster. I will invite you guys.
I can't wait to go.
You're going.
Single.
Oh, we're gonna auction you off. Actually,
There's no way I'm showing up to your event.
we're gonna tell them it's something different. We're having lunch that day, you and I.
Hey, you know what?
You didn't know, but now you know.
Surprise!
Well, I've discovered that I love people and I love talking to
Beautiful women.
beautiful women on the podcast. People are like, I'm realizing, by the way, I've had guys booked on this thing and they just keep flaking on me. I don't just book this podcast to hang out with women because that's like what I'm getting now. Like, do you just book this podcast to hang out with women? Because there's no guys now on this podcast.
There
That is
were a
not true.
couple last episode.
Yeah, exactly. So that is not true. Anyways, I want to thank you for coming by. Appreciate it.
So much for having me.
Where can we find you quickly on social media?
Kavi Ramachandran 1111 on Instagram and Facebook and
My main one is Nihan Gur Official on Instagram, and then my podcast is Your Caviar Podcast, but it's on pause right now. It's fine.
You guys can find me at Hot Chai Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and primarily YouTube.
And I want to thank you, Podcaster Studios, for letting us shoot here. We always run over, and they've been so great. Thanks to Tatum, our producer, for letting us go. You can follow me at Tarun Shetty, and you can follow us at the Convo Sutra. We will see you next episode. Thanks again, Kavi.
thank you for having me.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.